Very welcome you all to a new training session batch on JMeter Beginner to Master with Groovy Scripting and Dynatrace integration as well as lab practices. Okay, so this is a fresh batch which we are going to start for people interested to dive into the field of performance testing. Okay, and learn JMeter because it is one of the most demanding tools in the market as on today. Okay, so I am Chandra. I will be your trainer for this entire training batch, and I will be focusing on every details in JMeter right from a beginner, like whoever is not aware of JMeter at all will be able to learn JMeter from scratch and will become a pro at the end of the training session, because we are going to cover all the basic concepts, the advanced topics, as well as Groovy scripting also. Many people in the market, experienced professionals also do not have experience on Groovy scripting, but that is what we are going to provide in this training session, along with Dynatrace integration, because Dynatrace is one of the important application performance monitoring tool. So that will also be there, and you will also get the lab practice. So because only attending the sessions won't help, you will have to do the hands-on. So we'll have lab sessions as well for your hands-on. Okay, so few rules, ground rules. So if during the session, please keep yourself muted. However, if you have any questions, okay, if you have any questions in your mind, if you're not able to follow anywhere, you simply unmute yourself and ask your queries. Yeah, and these sessions, okay, whatever is being provided, every session will be recorded, and you will have lifetime access to all the videos. Okay, the training will be completely recorded. You will have lifetime access to all the videos. I can see a raised hand. Yeah, if there is any question, please go ahead. I can't see your name. It's mentioning waiting for name. Any queries? Okay, so with this, let me share my screen and we will go through the course curriculum, whatever we are going to learn, and then we will start the demo. So before I start, any queries, anyone? Any queries in your mind? So hope my screen is visible.
Yes, we are.
What is the duration type of this course?
So it will be around, like 40 to 45 hours of training.
Okay.
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 Yeah. Detailed training. So
Okay.
let us go through the curriculum. Okay. So now, as I told, whoever is interested to dive into the field of performance testing, it is a niche skill. Okay, it has a very good demand in the market. So for that, you need to know what is performance testing, right? So first we will go into the performance testing introduction, and then what is performance testing, why performance testing is required, okay, and the different types of performance testing, as well as what all things are done in those different types of performance testing we'll get to learn. Clear, all of you? And then we will go into the different phases of the performance testing life cycle. So when we do a performance testing, what are the different phases which we go through? May it be waterfall model, may it be agile model. So what are the different phases, and then what are the different activities in those different phases? Yeah, what are the different activities in those different phases? Then for each phase, what is an entry criteria and what is an exit criteria? So what is an entry criteria means what all different things or what all different activities should be completed before you start performance testing. Similarly, exit criteria means what all different activities should be completed before you exit performance testing, before you complete performance testing, or before you say that yes, performance testing is completed. Okay. And then what are the common challenges in each phase? Okay, so any project you work on, may it be functional testing, may it be development, whatever role you play, the path is not smooth, right? You will have different challenges, and I will give real life challenges from the, so I have 12 plus years of experience in performance testing. So I will give you the real life examples where the challenge will come and how to overcome that. Okay. So over here we are focusing on the performance testing part, right? Because you want that introduction, you want that overview, so that you can correlate yourself with the course. Any queries, anyone till now? Okay. So once we understand about performance testing, we will then go into the most demanding tool in the market, the JMeter. Okay. The beauty is that it is an open source tool. You don't have to pay a single penny in order to use that for your learning as well as for delivering a project. Okay. So history of JMeter, we will see what are the different protocols supported by JMeter. So protocol is a rule via which the client and server interact with each other, right? So what are the different protocols supported by JMeter? What are the different features of JMeter? Yeah. And then how to install JMeter? Is there any prerequisite to install JMeter? Okay. And so JMeter is based on Java, so we need Java installation. So how to install Java and all, we'll look into that. Then the environment variable setup for Java, okay, so that we can work with JMeter properly. So that part we are going to see. And then the JMeter download. So how to install JMeter, how to launch JMeter, those all things we will see. Yeah. And then primarily the most frequently used protocol is the web HTTP HTML. Okay. So HTTP can be HTTPS for more secure connections. So details of that protocol, what is a request, what is a response, what is a header, what are the different type of request methods, what are the different status codes which you will get as a response from the server. So we will go through those things in detail. Okay. So now that you learned how to install JMeter, what are the different features of JMeter, then we will go to the JMeter scripting. Okay. So JMeter scripting, in that what are the 12 major components of JMeter and what is their significance and how to use them. Clear all of you? So JMeter has different components because it is a tool. So you need to understand what are the components, what are their usage, and then how to record the scripts. So proxy server setup is required to record the scripts. But why that proxy server setup is required? That we need to understand. That is an interview question. Okay, why proxy server setup is required to record the scripts in JMeter? Can't we do that in without doing it? Yeah. And once the proxy server setup is done, what else setup is required in JMeter? Because the proxy server setup is not will not be done in JMeter, right? So what else setup will be required in JMeter so that we can record the scripts without any, and then recording from different browsers, right? So when you do, so this is about HTTP, web HTTP protocol. So you will use the browsers to use to open a web application, right? So how to record the web application through JMeter via different browsers, because some organizations might be using Chrome, some might be using Edge, some might be using Firefox. So we will see how to record using different browsers, and we'll not only see the setup but we'll also the demo will be given. So everywhere guys you will see the demo. Okay, our focus is on practical classes, not more on theory. You have to see the demo, you have to do the hands-on, and then you will easily understand and grab the knowledge. Then filtering irrelevant requests. So when you do the recording, there could be some requests which are not required for us. So we'll go in details into that. For now, you know it will be a difficult things to understand, but once we go through each of them, you will see that you are able to understand them, you are able to apply them. Okay. Then what is JMeter certificate? Why that installation is required on in the different browsers, that we are going to see. Then the test script recording, very important part. So now all these things we did the setup, right? And then we are going to do the test script recording. And certificate regeneration. So why at all the certificate regeneration is required? Does the certificate which you installed here, does it have any validity? Does it have any expiry date? Right? So why
Certificate
certificate?
means, is it all about the root certificate, root CA?
Yes, yes, the JMeter root certificate.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So why the regeneration is required? Okay. So those all things I will explain you. These are interview questions, guys. Okay. How many days or how many weeks or how many years the JMeter root certificate has the validity? Can you change that? Okay. And if it expires, what to do? All those things we will get to know. And then the test script recorder element. Very important, this element. So here you remember there are 12 major elements, right? So the HTTP test script recorder element, we will get introduction to it. What is it about? What's its attributes, its significance, and there will be different settings done in that. Okay, so what are the best practices followed in order to do the settings in the test script recorder? And then JMeter recording best practices. What are the best practices for JMeter recording? I'll take a pause here, guys. Any queries, anyone till now? Any queries? Please ask your queries. See, when your queries are answered, you will get more clarification that yes, whatever you are expecting from the training, are you going to get that or not? And if you have any further, ask that yes, is this going to be provided? Is that going to be provided? You can clearly ask that.
Yeah, I have made.
Yeah, one by one, please.
Any coding language required for this JMeter?
Any coding
Coding
language?
language, yeah.
No, for our the introduction part, the basic part, and most of the cases, the advanced part also in most of the cases you will not need. But the only thing at the end means in very complex scenarios where the tool is not able to meet your what to say requirement
Expectation.
expectation, in that case you could go for the groovy scripting, which we are also taking care in this course. You can do bin
Okay,
shell
okay.
scripting, you can do groovy scripting. Okay, but we are going to cover groovy because groovy has better performance than bin shell.
Sure. Groovy and or Beansel is different. Both are different.
Yeah, both are different scripting languages. See, the
So,
concept throughout the programming languages, the concept is the
okay,
same. Yeah, but
okay,
the way to implement that, the way to do the coding is different.
okay. We will use Groovy scripting instead of Beansel.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, Chandra, this is Veera here. Are you going to cover like the API level also, like only web only?
Sorry, your voice was breaking, but if I understood correctly, you were asking if API performance testing is going to be covered.
Yes, exactly. That is what I
Yeah,
am asking.
that is that the API is also so I'll go through that. The API testing will also be covered.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Chandra.
in the demo session. Yeah, sorry. In the demo session, will it be covered for complex scripting also?
in the demo session.
Yeah.
See, so in
It's
the
not
demo
a demo
session,
session. In the normal, yeah, it's a normal. If I join the classes, in that classes, complex scripting also will be handled, or
yes, complex
just
scripting will
about.
also be covered. Complex scripting. So this is our entire course curriculum. Okay. So this is the link. I hope you all have the.
Yes, yes. Yes, sir. Generally, it will be taken care by very basic information which we can see in all the in YouTube also. So I'm just asking whether difficulty things also will be covered and will be explained.
Yes, those will be explained.
Thank you.
Any other queries?
Yeah, Java scripting and
Mm.
Groovy scripting both are same or are different, Chandu?
So like bin shell, Groovy, all of them will revolve around Java. Okay, so Java is a programming language, but Groovy is a scripting language. Yeah, so they all sit on the framework of Java, but to make it easier, these scripting languages exist. But if you have the knowledge of Java, Groovy is like um, very easy for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
In this course, what are the protocols will be supposed to complete here?
So primarily we will be focusing on web HTTP, HTML protocol and web services protocol of JMeter. But I will also explain
In
about other protocols like which protocol will be used in which scenario. Like FTP protocol is there, JDBC protocol is there. So what is the use of those protocols where we can use them, right?
Ajax 2 client is not covered here.
No, Ajax 2 client is for LoadRunner, right?
Yeah, so which kind of protocol
We,
is
we
there
are
in
going to we
JMeter?
are going to cover JMeter.
Okay, here what is used for the in place of Ajax 2 client in JMeter?
So for that, there are other methods. Okay, I
Okay,
understand where you are coming from. For that, we have other methods which we will explain. Yeah.
okay.
is scripting is easy as compared to if we talk about Java.
Yes, I would say Groovy is easy. And you see,
Okay, okay,
you do not have to know entire Groovy. Okay. I will also share the
okay.
examples. I'll share the examples which will help you to understand. See, as I told you, JMeter tool itself will be able to take care of most of the scenarios. But in case there are complex scenarios, you can do that with the help of, actually it is known as the JSR 223 element of JMeter. But because most of the
Hmm.
people will not be aware, so JSR 223 sampler supports bin shell, supports Groovy and many other scripting languages. But we are going to focus on Groovy because it is easy as well as it has better performance than bin shell.
Okay, let's start now.
Yeah. Any other queries, anyone?
Yeah, Chandra,
Sir,
what are you
So
going to cover the whole?
whenever you are speaking, no means noise is coming. So are you
Are
using
you
your
going to?
headphones? There is some issue with your speaker, I think.
Mic and headphone speaker, I think both are at the same place. Just give some distance so Veera you can speak well.
Yeah, now I can hear you. Please tell me.
Hello, sir. I have one is not useful for load testing. They are saying go for CLI mode. So we will cover that CLI mode
Yes,
testing
I'm coming to
example.
that. See, you said that JMeter is not useful statement. JMeter GUI mode should not be used for load testing. That is a correct statement. So GUI mode should not be used, and that is why we should use non-GUI mode or the CLI mode, and that is also going to be covered. Definitely, it's not completed, guys. I just took a pause because I did not want to load everything first, and then go for the query. So that is why I'm asking till now, whatever you have queries, you let me know, and then we'll go through the other items which we are going to cover in this training.
Grafana will be covered in this session.
Yes, JMeter integration with it means
And
how you
Jenkins
can
can be
see
covered.
how during a load test how you can see the results on Grafana, that will be covered.
Can we cover Jenkins in this course?
Yes, Jenkins. Yeah, so the integration with Jenkins will also be covered, like how you will execute a test in pipeline and all. That also is going to be covered.
And
So,
can we
sir,
get some knowledge application architecture and all for interview purpose in this course?
For interview, there will be completely support for your interview. So each and every module when I'm covering, I'm going to discuss the interview questions, and at the end, we'll share the list of interview questions as well, which you should expect in an evaluation for JMeter.
Yeah, thank you.
No
okay, one
problem.
last question.
Yeah.
Actually, after completing this course, uh, what, how many year of experience we can show for if we go for any interview and
Yes.
make it resume,
So
resume.
yes. So I will, advise that whenever the sessions are happening, please follow it religiously. Please do the hands-on. And after the end of the course, you should definitely able to say, I have 3+ years of experience or 4+ years of experience in performance testing. That you can
Okay,
definitely say.
okay,
Okay.
3+ years. Okay,
4+ years of experience, because you see, you need to have that hands-on also. If you are able to do the hands-on, you can go for more also. Okay.
okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
For all the topics, can we have a material?
Yeah, the training materials will be provided to you. So
Okay.
whatever materials I'll be using for the training sessions, so we have the training materials that will be, you know, shared with the participants.
Okay.
Any other queries? Okay,
We
so then
have
let's move. Yeah.
we'll practice scripting also, right? Which includes scripting. So how to
Yes,
do
definitely. Definitely. Without scripting, there's no point in learning JMeter. Everything will
scripting.
learn.
I have a doubt. Suppose, do we need any basic knowledge of Java for this, for coding or Groovy scripting?
For Groovy scripting, you might need, but again, that is easy. Okay.
Okay,
And we
okay,
have good number of hours left till Groovy
okay,
starts, because we'll first cover the entire, basic as well as advanced topics of JMeter, and then
okay,
we'll jump to Groovy. Yeah.
yeah, okay,
But
okay,
you should be able to understand that is not a big deal. I'm telling you. Yeah.
okay. And the thing is, like, we have some functions and variables in JMeter, right? So
Yes.
instead
Functions
of
will be covered.
it will cover that. Okay,
Yes, functions will be covered.
yeah, okay, thank you. And is there any teaching, like, suppose if the application has been encrypted, so will there be any coaching provided for how to convert that code to decrypt one? In some
Yes.
pages, suppose if the password or user
Yes. So
ID.
encrypted pages, embedded pages, all those scenarios we'll see. And
Okay,
in addition to that, okay, in case I
okay,
am not covering anything, and if you have any challenges,
mm,
if you have faced any challenges, you can
okay,
ask, and we will also, resolve your query.
mm, thank you.
Yeah. The best part is you will have the lifetime access to the videos. Okay. So whenever you have any doubts, you can go back to the video, watch that, and you will be able to resolve your query. Plus, if you have any queries, you are always open to, reach out to Isha and myself, and your query will be resolved. At the end of the training, you will also get a certificate from our academy, so which will actually certify your training with us.
Thank you.
No worries.
One last question: that is there any certification for JMeter or no?
Yeah, there are certifications for JMeter, like BlazeMeter provides certification. vSkills is another organization who provides the certification for JMeter. So you can go for them. BlazeMeter certification is free of cost. vSkills comes with a cost of around $49. So there are different certifications. You can also search on the internet if there are any other vendors who are providing the different certifications. Yeah.
BlazeMeter certification is free, na?
Yeah, BlazeMeter certification is free. You can, after this course, no, you can definitely clear the BlazeMeter certification.
Okay, okay, okay.
No issues. Okay. So now let's move on. So then we'll go through the, so JMeter has different directories, means different files, different folders. So we'll go through them. What is the significance of each file, each folder? Then JMeter property. So JMeter has so many different property files. Okay, system properties, JMeter properties, user properties. So what is the significance of those properties file? Okay, what is the content inside that? How is that going to help us? Those all things we'll see. And then JMeter plugin manager. So JMeter is an open source tool. It has its core salient features, right? And in addition to that, because it is an open source tool, if you are also a pro in development, okay, you can also contribute to its features. So that is why many developers around the world, many organizations around the world, they are also offering additional solutions to JMeter, and they come in the form of plugin, right? If anything you are not able to do with the core JMeter, you can achieve that with the help of plugin if any plugin exists for that. Okay, so JMeter plugin is there. Now how you can use them? Via the JMeter plugin manager. Okay, so we'll go through that, the JMeter plugin manager, and then how to install the plugins, how to uninstall the plugins. Okay, and then how to identify the scenarios for performance testing. So for your performance testing, how will you identify which all scenarios will be part of your performance testing? Okay, and then we'll go through a web application. We'll do the documentation for that. Okay, so for the performance testing, and then the end-to-end scenario recording. We will do the recording for all the different scenarios which are in our scope. Then once the recording is done, the test script will be generated, right? So once the test script is generated, is that test script ready to use, or if you have to make any further enhancements to that test script so that you can use it, those all things we will see. So here comes the concept of correlation, parameterization, right? And so what are JMeter's best practices for the scripting? Then the correlation concepts and understanding, parameterization concepts and understanding, okay, and why are they required? And then regular expression in JMeter. What is a regular expression? Why regular expression is used? And then we have a component known as regular expression extractor. So what is regular expression extractor? What is its use? What are its attributes? Everything we will see in details. Then we'll go to the real-time examples, right? Or use cases to see how we can use the regular expression extractor. Then comes the test execution part. So someone was asking the CLI mode. Are we going to cover that? Yes, test execution in non-GUI mode along with its best practices. Then what is a test summarizer? That we will understand. Then what are the different attributes a test some attributes of a test summarizer? How to start a test in non-GUI mode? How to stop a test in non-GUI mode? How to stop a running test in non-GUI mode, all those things we'll see. And then test execution in GUI mode also. So there is a GUI mode, but in what cases can we use the GUI mode? That also we are going to see. And once the execution is done, how the report will be generated, the HTML report generation in the GUI mode. Then how to understand the the JMeter HTML report which is generated, how are we going to understand that report? In details we will see, because that report will give you so many different results, right? Based on which you'll do your analysis. How to analyze the JMeter HTML report, okay? And what are the key areas to look at in the report? Then comes the scope of JMeter elements and variables. Okay, they are very important, guys. Very important topic. What is the scope? Then what is a local variable? What is a global variable? What are the significance of the local variable and global variable? How to use them in JMeter? Okay. Then we have the CSV dataset config. Okay. How to set up the test data. Then we have the random CSV dataset config also. Okay. So this is like how to use the random CSV dataset. Then comes another important topic, distributed load testing. Okay, what is distributed load testing?
It is
How to do
important, na?
distributed load testing? Very important, very important. Then how to do distributed testing? Okay, in GUI mode and non-GUI mode. Test execution and reporting, master and slaves concept. So basically, what is the concept of master and slave that is being used in this distributed load testing? Okay, what are the prerequisites to set up that master and slave concept? Okay, what are the conditions in which you will be able to do that? Those all things we are going to see. Then you see someone was asking whether web services will be covered or not. So web services test design is also covered in our curriculum. Test execution. Sorry, if you are not speaking, can you please go on mute? Test execution with bandwidth throttling. So what is this bandwidth throttling? How you can do the JMeter, how you can do the test execution via JMeter for the use case of bandwidth throttling? That is a very important topic, guys, which we are also going to cover. And then we have different elements, right, which I told you. So what is a test plan, what are the non-test element, what is a thread group, then the different elements of a thread group. In detail, there are so many different settings, right, in a thread group. So what those settings stand for. Then the controller elements, the sampler elements, config elements, assertion elements, timer elements, all these elements, what are their use, their explanation, everything we will go through. What is spacing, what is think time, how to achieve that in JMeter. Okay, then listener elements of JMeter, their significance and how to use. Pre and post processor elements of JMeter, their significance and how to use. So by covering these topics, you should be able to work in a performance testing project using JMeter. Okay, and once you learn JMeter also, it will become very easy to learn any other tool, guys, because you have understood the concept. See, the very important thing is learning a tool is not difficult, but understanding the concepts is difficult. So once you understand the concepts, learning any tool is easy. Okay, because the concepts, the fundamentals remain the same, right? The tools, what they do, they have different ways to implement that. That's all, right? But you need to understand the concepts, the fundamentals of performance system. Okay, and then before moving on to the next, any queries till now on the additional topics which we discussed?
No problem. Yeah.
Sorry.
If we are fresher and beginner in JMeter, so we want that whatever we use in our important tasks and important in the actual daily market, we should learn at least.
Yes, you will learn that. Okay, you will learn that. As I told you, once you go through this training, you do the hands-on, and you will be able to work in a performance testing project. And this is the course the way I have designed, and you'll also see that flavor the way I will start doing the sessions. It will be like from a scratch. A beginner will be able to understand, and at the end of the course he or she will become a master in the JMeter.
Okay.
Okay, so then comes Groovy, right? So introduction to Groovy and the JSR 223. So JSR 223 sampler, JSR 223 preprocessor, JSR 223 post processor. So all these are the different components of JMeter. Now what is JSR? JSR is Java specification request. So what is Java specification request? That also I'm going to say, and why we call it 223. Okay, so all those things we will see. And then Groovy introduction. Okay, so what is Groovy? Why Groovy will be used? Why, how we can use Groovy? Then what are the different, like in Groovy, how can you comment? How can you print? How, and what are the different variables? How can you handle the variables in Groovy? Okay, then what are the operators in Groovy? Okay, what are the different operations which you can perform with the help of Groovy? Then what are the different Groovy variables? Okay, what are the different Groovy variables? And then the real life examples from Groovy which will be able to implement in JMeter. See, with Groovy you can achieve so many things, right? But we will see those are applicable to JMeter, because our objective is that the use cases, the examples which will help us to achieve in JMeter. Okay, so this is about Groovy which we will cover, and then we will have the Dynatrace integration as well. Okay, introduction to Dynatrace, JMeter integration with Dynatrace. So what is Dynatrace? That will be showing. Then how we can integrate JMeter with Dynatrace, then application monitoring with Dynatrace during JMeter execution. So during an execution in JMeter, how we can monitor the applications with Dynatrace. Yeah. So along with that, I'll also tell you how we can execute the JMeter on CI/CD. Like someone was asking about Jenkins, so that I'm going to cover. So more or less the course content will remain to this, and if there are any additional queries, if you want to cover any other topics, like in the course curriculum, like we have the different elements and all, so those are not in there, which you will means during the course you will come to know, okay, in this is going to be covered, like HTTP authorization manager, a very important topic, right? But because that is one of the component that is not explicitly mentioned, but HTTP authorization will have one, right? And then the bandwidth throttling, the how can that be done, what is the concept behind that, all those things we are going to see. So any queries, anyone on the
Can we do the
curriculum?
integration? Yeah, can we do the AppDynamics integration also on JMeter?
So in this training, or in this curriculum, we are going to cover the integration with Dynatrace. But again, yes, if you want, I can tell you how to integrate with AppDynamics also.
Thank you.